7 a.m. temperature of 27. Now for tomorrow, mostly sunny, a bit windy, my high of 42. At night, mostly clear, still breezy, and a low down to 31. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Raleigh, and that's your 9 first warning forecast on 55 KRC.
Live from the Dilly Bistro in Marymount, welcome to the Sean Miller Radio Show on the Xavier Sports Network from Learfield. Presented by TriHealth. TriHealth provides surprisingly human care that drives the best health outcomes. Be seen, be heard, be healed. Visit TriHealth.com. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And by Dilly Bistro, presenting sponsor of the Sean Miller Radio Show. Now, here are Joe Sunderman and Byron Larkin.
Welcome to the Sean Miller Show. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here live at Dilly Bistro, another packed house. I'm Joe Sunderman along with Byron Larkin and the head coach of the Xavier Musketeers, Sean Miller. Xavier's now won 4 of the last 5 games, all in the Big East. And on Saturday, in a spectacular environment, Xavier knocked off the 19th-ranked UConn Huskies. Final score, Xavier 76, UConn 72. And Sean, my question is about that night. It was a wonderful night of basketball at Cintas. What stands out the most to you about that night?
Well, a lot of things, Joe. I think the biggest thing that stood out is just our crowd. It was just electric. It always starts with the students, and I think that's the case in every arena. Our students have been just awesome. Really, the last 3 years since I've come back, I don't know if they've had a bad night. They show up in full force, and the other night, I thought they were the heartbeat of the arena, and then everybody else that was in there just joined in. And what it made for is an incredibly spectacular environment for us, but an equally difficult environment for the visiting team. UConn clearly got our best crowd and best shot, and that's part of being in the Big East, as you guys know, because we travel together. We're going to go to Creighton on Wednesday, and you already know what to expect. An amazing student section with 18,000. We had that against Marquette on an amazing weekend where they honored one of their former teams, and it just felt like every seat in that Milwaukee Bucks arena was filled and with somebody wearing gold. And even in Madison Square Garden, which can be hit or miss sometimes in New York City, their crowd was a big part of that comeback that we went up against. The place just got, maddening, and that's what makes our conference so great. But for us to have that home court every game, it has an amazing meaning. And the other night, our crowd really was a big factor in why we played and how we got to the finish line winning against a team that doesn't lose often.
Coach, when you talk about the crowd, where do you see that in your team? Do you see that more on the defensive end, offensive end, when you're playing in the Cintas Center and they're really hyped up and there's a lot of energy in the building? Is there a certain part of your game that you see that's a little bit more elevated than when the crowd maybe is not as loud?
Where you really feel it, Byron, is a lot of times when things aren't going well. You have a couple turnovers or they make a run, and you just, the building stays with you, where it encourages you. And, the crowd kind of like stands and roars to just get some wind back in your sail. It's not always when you're on a run and the place is going crazy and the other coach has to call a timeout. Yeah, that's part of it too. But the other part, when you have a crowd like we had the other night, it's hard, it's difficult when things aren't going well to just let it happen. I mean, you fight to get it back. The crowd helps you fight to get it back, and I think that's the best home crowds. And we have one of the best home crowds in the country. How the crowd was the other night would be how I would have remembered Cintas when I was gone for a long time. When you think back, what was it like playing in the Cintas Center? I'd say it was amazing, and it was very difficult for every coach and every opposition that came in. They felt that they're playing against the team and they're playing against an incredible crowd. A long time ago at Cincinnati Gardens, Byron, and you guys know this, Schmidt Fieldhouse, it was always the same. You had Xavier tonight, and you're like, God, I'm playing against a really good team. These guys play together and hard. Coach is over there coaching, and his crowd is just, it's tough. It's all of that, I think, that goes into having just a great college basketball program. And, the other night in the Cintas against UConn, whether you were on television watching it, your opinion was, man, that place is crazy. if you are in the game as a student, as a fan, as a player, our players, wow, that was amazing. And I think that's what makes our program such a special place to play at. And there's an element of recruiting that happens. You know, there's an element that the players in our program, you know, they know they're at a special place. And you know, I think the standard is set across the board when your home court feels like it felt the other night against UConn. And look, we don't have 10 more home games left. We have, I think, 5. And to have a version of that in these next 5 and to try to win every one of them would be very meaningful towards what we're all trying to accomplish.
And Coach, it happened early because an hour and a half before the game, I was doing an interview with the UConn guys, and we started to record at the same time. They started to let the student section in, and we had to stop the recording because some of the things they were saying and some of the energy was like, yo, we got to stop. we got to wait till they get in. But they were so energized. And I mean, they came in screaming like they just knocked the doors in and just came in and just kept that energy the entire time. I understand that, Joe, they were out there a couple hours before, right?
Many hours before.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were out prepping. They were getting ready. So by the time they opened the doors up,
They were ready.
They were ready.
Yeah.
So pipe frothed up and ready to go.
You know, on the other side of the coin, you go to Marquette. That place is at capacity. It's 18,000 plus, and they're it can be a wild group too if you let them go. But that game, Xavier sees the lead early in that ball game, and I actually mentioned to Byron during the timeout that the broadcast actually sounded different to me because the building was so quiet. You're used to kind of that background noise. It was very, very quiet.
You know, in that game, we never trailed. We led 2-0 or 3-0, whatever it started out as, and we led wire to wire. And I think that's one of the optimistic parts about following our team right now, that if you really track us, and we're playing right now what I think is the most difficult part of a Big East schedule, and you look at Marquette, followed by at New York, Madison Square Garden playing St. John's, we strung together about 76 consecutive minutes of play with never trailing. And we weren't able to hold the lead, and St. John's made the comeback that they did and earned a hard-fought victory on their court. But, man, when you can go 76 minutes, and then if you really think about the other night, you know, for most of the game we led there too, and now you think, well, that's 3 teams. That's UConn at home, that's at St. John's, at Marquette. You know, you're thinking about who they are, the level of play, and the level of play we're playing at now for 125 minutes. And, you know, to me, that's the most important part of it, the level of play that we're at. And we have to continue that, build on it, figure out how to keep it and even grow it. And now you know that really any place or any time you have the ability to win regardless, because that's the level of play that you're at. And, you know, I know it, and I know a lot of people have talked to me about it. You know, our defense is continuing to develop. We're a more difficult team to score against. We can disrupt easier, deflections, steals. We have a lot of guys playing with the highest level of intensity and energy on that end. And now, you know, you don't have to outscore the other team. You can win with your defense and your offense, and that's really what all of us are after when you try to build a team. And you start to talk about building a program or a culture, you want that defensive side of the ball to have a standard as well. And it's really taken us some time to get there. But from this point forward, and we have to keep it, we have the ability to play some really good defense. Look, UConn is one of the most difficult challenges to guard in the country. They've been that way the last couple of years. Their offense is no different than it would have been a year ago or even 2 years ago. Their defense is a little bit different than the last couple of years, but not their offense. When we go to Creighton, they're one of the most difficult teams to defend in the country. And so, you know, the teams we're playing against right now, you know, they may get 72 points, but they're among the nation's best at what they're doing. And, again, that's the conference we're in.
Coach, you mentioned 125 minutes the last 3 games. I believe you led 102 of those minutes, which you've talked about. You played, as you indicated, some of your very best basketball of the year. You also indicated after the UConn game, the game was won, but at the same time, you want to play better than the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game. How do you achieve that?
We made better plays at the end, to seal the win. I mean, look, the obvious one was Marcus Foster going to the line, winning by 2 points, and, he didn't make one to put us up 3. He made 2 to put us up 4, which inevitably sealed the game. But that's something that there are times we haven't done that. We had a couple big offensive rebounds. Dalen had one, Marcus had one that kept the ball alive, kept the possession alive, ran more clock. On one of the 2, we actually scored on an underneath out-of-bounds play that followed that offensive rebound. And then, look, we got consecutive stops to win it. I mean, it's not like they were open and missed the layup or, we broke down. We made them miss. We really did a good job defending them on those last several plays without fouling. So I thought we were better. We still had a couple plays there, Joe, that you just – you'd say, oh, my God, here we go again. And we had a kind of an ill-advised turnover. We gave up a second shot with like 1 second on the clock where their point guard put it back in at the end. And, again, we went over that today. And all we can do is just continue to strive to be better, address it. And if we can be a better finishing team, that's going to make the month of February and moving forward a lot smoother for us. Just be the same team as you are throughout the game at the end. And that's obviously plagued us at times this year.
Coach, I know you you talk about your defense being better. The last 4 opponents you've held underneath their scoring average, and why do you think that is? And I know teams come together, different teams come together at different times for different reasons, but it seems like the better teams obviously come together a little faster, and I think it's more of a challenge. Now with the transfer portal, you got one-year guys who really don't know the culture or the expectations or really how you want them to play defensively. So what do you think has made them turn the corner defensively or just playing at a better level defensively?
Yeah, I don't think it happened overnight, like a particular moment changed things. I do think our St. John's home game was a low moment for us, and I think we came out of that game with the fork in the road of hey, we either going to fix this, work to be better in these areas, or we're going to go the other way. And clearly, I think from that game moving forward, we've been better. But overall, it just takes time. There's a lot of different faces coming from different programs that are on not only our team, Byron, but all teams. And every time you play a game, each month that goes by, I think you get more accustomed to the standard, the way of doing things. And then the other part of it is you could talk about playing in the Big East, but until you actually go through several games, you just don't know. And I think we fell victim of that as well, where we don't have a lot of guys that have played in the Big East. And once we got a few games under our belt, I think everybody took a deep breath and said, I now know what to expect more as well. But I'll also tell you this, Dalen Swain, and just as an individual player, has impacted our defense in a significant way. He's our youngest player, and again, the more experience he gets, the better he gets, but his ability to guard a variety of players and get deflections and block shots and do things in a correct manner on defense and play at a higher level of intensity, I think that it can become contagious. And I think just his own individual defense has continued to evolve. And I would say right now he's at a level where he's one of our conference's best defensive players. And I think he individually has really impacted us as well.
You're listening to the Sean Miller Coaches Show from Dilly Bistro in Marymount on 55 KRC and the Varsity Network.
Hey Xavier fans, after a hard-fought game, there's nothing like diving into Dilly's famous beer cheese, mouth-watering wings, or one of their signature burgers. Located in Marymount, Dilly is more than just a bistro and bar. For those looking for a hearty meal, their comfort food entrees are unbeatable in value and taste. And remember, if you want to catch up with all things Musketeers, reserve a table for the Coach Sean Miller Radio Show, hosted right here at Dilly. Dilly, bistro, bar, and bottle shop. Great food, great company, let's go X.
Since 1936, Almer's Auto Care has been providing service beyond compare. With 8 family-owned and operated locations in Anderson, Milford, Montgomery, Deer Park, Loveland, Blue Ash, Florence, and Southgate, Almer's Auto Care is a name you can trust for all your automotive service needs. Providing service beyond compare is more than just a tagline, it's what they do. With complimentary shuttle service, free loaner vehicles, and an industry-leading 4-year Visit almersautocare.com to schedule an appointment today. Almer's Auto Care.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including the best-selling RAV4. Now through February 3rd, get 4.99 APR financing on new gas-powered 24 or 25 RAV4s. Or lease a gas-powered 25 RAV4 LE for $339 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hi, this is Jamie Smith, publisher of the Cincinnati Business Courier, inviting you to join thousands of local professionals who read the Courier to grow their business, their careers, and stay ahead of the competition. For over 30 years, the Business Courier has been the place where local businesses meet. Whether it's our in-depth weekly print product or our digital products or our live events, the Courier has you covered. Visit CincinnatiBusinessCourier.com or call 337-9450 to grow your business today.
Unlimited wash plans from Mike's Car Wash were made for our area's unpredictable winter weather. Grimy, dirty, salty conditions can do a number on your vehicle's finish and underbody. With unlimited wash plans, you can wash as often as you want at any of our 40 locations. And the more you wash, the more value you get out of your unlimited plan. Keep your ride protected from the worst of winter weather with an unlimited wash plan from Mike's Car Wash. Open daily at 7 a.m.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Get ready, Musketeer Nation, because light beer just got better. As the craft beer partner of Xavier Athletics, Sam Adams is here to elevate your game day experience. With the clean, crisp taste of American Light, you're not just grabbing any light beer, you're upgrading to the best in the game. It's smooth, easy drinking, and oh so refreshing. You'll be reaching for another one in no time. Plus, American Light is brewed right here in the USA, using all American-sourced ingredients. Sam Adams American Light Beer, because when life calls for a cold one, it's always Sam season. When you've been diagnosed with cancer, a second opinion can provide you with much-needed peace of mind. Cincinnati Cancer Advisors believes that cause should not stand in the way of receiving a platinum-level second opinion. Our outstanding physicians are here to provide reassurance and help you and your physician to have confidence in your care plan and live your best life despite having cancer. To schedule an appointment, please visit CincinnatiCancerAdvisors.org or call 513-731-CARE. That's 513-731-2273.
Welcome back to the Sean Miller Show from Dilly Bistro in Marymount.
Xavier fans, for a limited time, you can take advantage of the men's basketball flash sale. That's a purchase of a $20 upper-level ticket with no additional fees for upcoming games against Georgetown on February 4th, Butler February 18th, and Providence on March the 8th. Remember, the sale is only for a limited time, and tickets can be purchased at GoXavier.com.
Terry Yance, happy birthday today. Appreciate you being here. You're every week, so
happy birthday.
With the birthday celebrating, that's big for us to be here on that day like that, so we appreciate it. Coach Davion McKnight played college basketball for 5 years now, 5 straight years. He's had 100 or more assists in every one of those seasons. That, to me, is an amazing accomplishment, and what consistency.
Yeah, you know, Davion is really a remarkable young person. I don't think I've ever been around anybody that is more consistent with who they are every day than him. You know, whether we lose, we win, he plays really well, doesn't play well at all. You see him, he's there, and he goes through his routine. He practices very hard. He does what you ask him to do, as well as any player that I have ever been around or coached, you know, and his consistency wins out. You know, one of the things that we're looking at with him this year, especially because of the way our schedule has unfolded, where we've played against these pressure teams, St. John's twice, UConn twice, Marquette twice, and he's playing, you know, heavy minutes, leading our team in minutes, almost 37 minutes a game. And I think we're at a point now where we're starting to recognize that that's too much. You know, not that he's playing for his performance, but to bring out the best in him and allow him to be the best he can be from this point all the way to the end. the 37 becoming more towards 34 or 32. And that might not seem like a lot to people if you say 36, 37, and 32, but it really is. You in real time during a game, how long that is, it's longer than the minutes. And getting him a chance to just take a deep breath, getting him out when he's winded, I think it'll allow him to finish games stronger. I think it won't be as much wear and tear from one game to the next. And that's something that we're talking to him about. I thought we started to see it a little bit at St. John's where, man, it's just they're pressing. We're asking him to push the ball, break the press, play defense. He's playing an even higher level defensively than he ever has before. We move a lot on offense, and you're doing it day in, day out, game in, game out. Now we're entering February. The last thing I want to see is him not having a chance to be at his best moving forward. So how do you do that? You have to trust your bench more. You have to get quality play when you get those guys in. But I think we're at a point where, for us to truly play to win, to be the best that we can be, we have to push that button right there and give those guys a little bit more opportunity, give him a little bit more rest, play without him for a segment of the game so that when he's in there, that I think he can be even more effective, especially towards the end of the game.
Coach, you talked about trusting your bench more, but in order for him to get some time off, the bench has got to come in and do some things, because I've seen you
exactly right.
Take him out, 5 seconds later, back in there, So so the bench has got to give you a reason to play him. And, at least against UConn, your bench showed up in a big way. Dante Maddox.
Yeah. Well, Dante was amazing. He was the player of the game for us. We always give out a player of the game to be, the analogy is you look at the football when they give the football to somebody on their roster who maybe impacted winning on that day in a significant manner. And Dante's the guy who basically got our game ball. We give a golden X out for the player of the game in each game. I don't think we win without him. He played 23 minutes. He was 5 for 6 from the floor, 3 for 4 from 3. I couldn't believe he missed free throws. He was 1 for 3. He's a great free throw shooter. Had 3 assists and 0 turnovers. Had a couple great passes in the game, and really just came off the bench like you mentioned, Byron, and was a valuable player for us. And look, when that's happened, and he's done it in numerous games, that's when our team's level of play seems to be at the highest, because we get the spark off the bench. Second part, somebody's resting while he's in. We're fresher, and I just think they were an overall more difficult team to defend. I also thought Jerome Hunter, in the 12 and a half minutes that he played, and again, he couldn't play more than 12 and a half because he fouled out, but he did score 12 points in 12 minutes.
And he scored in every way, Coach. He made threes.
Yep.
He ducked in really hard.
Yeah.
Offensive rebounds.
Jerome was ready.
He was good.
Like Dante, had a huge part in the outcome of the game, and it was great to see because, look, in both of their cases, they didn't feel very well about how things went for them individually at St. John's. I clearly made sure that they knew that I didn't think that they did a good job against St. John's, and look, when that happens, it could go. Sometimes it can go different ways, but their response, I think, is exactly what you want. I think you learn and grow from those types of experiences, and my bigger hope is that moving forward, as these guys have experienced success against a team like UConn in that environment, that they can then be the same and do it again and again, because we don't have an iron 5 where we're going to win games just with our starting group. We need players who come in off the bench, who don't start, to help us in a variety of ways. And the 3 guys that we're electing to play in that role right now are Dante Maddox, Jerome Hunter, and John Ugly. And each of them can come in and really help the cause. John Ugly against Creighton, we all know Ryan Kalkbrenner, who is in his 5th year. It feels like he's been there even longer. He has such a big presence on both defense and offense that it's helpful when you're not dependent on only one player matching up against him for the entire game. Where a guy like Zach Fremantle can do his best, Jerome Hunter can do his best, and then you can throw in a big body like John Ugly who can do his best, and you have 3 of those guys working together against him, and I think that gives you a better chance.
Coach, I want to go back to Dante Maddox against UConn. The thing that I've never seen him do is he basically took the ball from DR, their point guard. He was on him, and he just kind of smacked the ball away, took it from him, and went coast to coast. That was really, really impressive to me. And Jerome looked like Kennesaw State Jerome.
Yeah.
Where he basically was the best player on the floor in the NCAA tournament and kind of saved that game for you so you can go on and beat Pitt in the next round.
Yeah, Jerome is at his best when he's really focused on the task at hand. That this is my job. This is it. This is what is expected of me. Nothing else matters. I'm going to go into it and do it well. And, why he doesn't have it all the time, especially where he's at in his career, that's something that we're working with him on to be better at. But going into the UConn game, I think he had a chip on his shoulder coming out of the last game to prove that he was going to impact the game in a positive way. And his way of doing it was really selfless. I'm going to be great on defense. I'm going to rebound on both ends. I'm going to be physical, and whatever happens scoring, I'll take it, but that's not my job. That's not why I'm going out there. I'm going out there to do these other things. And a lot of times when he's done that, he also scores 12 points. They used to teach you a long time ago as the big man Joe, right? If you set good screens, the ball has a unique way of finding you for a basket, right? That's our way of encouraging guys like you to screen.
Is that right?
For guys like us.
It's the carrot.
Because if popping for a three, Coach.
It's always the three.
Coach, he wants you to 4 times in a row. I want to flare out in a corner and do something spectacular.
If we can get you to set an unselfish screen to help guys like Byron and I, and once in a while you get the ball, and that's the carrot for the guy. That's it. And
guards, I'm telling you what, we need to take a break.
With
Don't
Jerome,
drop the
that's how it
pass,
works.
Just don't drop the pass, right, Coach? Don't drop it.
We're taking a break. You're listening to the Sean Miller Coaches Show from Dilly Bistro in Marymount on 55 KRC and the Varsity Network.
Hey, Xavier fans. Looking for the latest Xavier athletics news? Visit Cincinnati.com for breaking news, game day analysis, photo galleries, schedules, and more. Home or away, Cincinnati.com has the Xavier sports scene covered. Stay on top of the action at Cincinnati.com. Join us and let's cheer for our hometown Xavier Musketeers.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Can't carry a bowling ball in a plastic bag. Can't rub plastic bags together to make fire. Can't turn them into swim trunks. And you can't put plastic bags in your Rumpke recycling container. Visit Rumpke.com for recycling do's and don'ts. Learn more at Rumpke.com.
Make your recycling count. Rumpke.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
At Mike Albert Sales and Service, you can be confident in your pre-owned vehicle purchase. Our vehicles are freshly off lease from our corporate customers, so they've been well maintained. We have the vehicle histories to prove it. We also offer flexible shopping through our Click Buy Drive program and ensure all vehicles are deep cleaned according to our sanitized for your safety protocol. So whether you want all the details on your vehicle, flexible shopping options, peace of mind on your vehicle's cleanliness, or all of the above, we're here for you. Visit MikeAlbertCars.com to click, buy, and drive today.
Bourbon and barbecue sauce together as one at Buffalo Wild Wings? Bet I know how it happened. One night at a dimly lit B-Dubs, smooth bourbon bumped into tangy barbecue sauce. They chat, flirt, bat eyelashes. B-Dubs barbecue goes home with bourbon. Some hickory incense is lit. It's a full-on seduction. When they just, hey, ho, sorry, you know what? Got carried away there. It's just this bourbon barbecue sauce is that good. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
Limited time only while supplies last. Please drink responsibly.
Xavier fans, this is Joe Sunderman, voice of the Xavier Musketeers. Just like our Musketeers, our friends at CTI Clinical Trial and Consulting are always looking for new talent to add to their team. They even have a program specifically designed for recent graduates. If you'd like to work with a group of people on life-changing therapies to help patients around the world, CTI is the team for you. To learn more, visit ctifacts.com.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Because all that can wait. Your friends shouldn't. There are good stories to be made. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Welcome back to the Sean Miller Show from Dilly Bistro in Marymount.
New this season, Behind the Mic, presented by Deer Park Roofing, allows fans to watch every Sean Miller Coaches Show live from Dilly Bistro. Check out the men's basketball Facebook page to receive notifications on upcoming shows, and check out the shows you may have missed.
All right, we have a phone call. It's Joe. Joe, thanks for calling again. We've missed you.
Joe.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling, Joe.
You're welcome. I want to congratulate you on your victory over UConn. It was a battle. Unfortunately, me and my wife were under weather. We couldn't make the game, but my daughter did, and her husband. I want to wish you good luck against Creighton. And I want to ask you two quick questions about the new guys that are coming in next year, the two high school players. Tell us something about the both of them. And about Dalen, is he working on his jump shot? Because all he needs to be is a little bit above average jump shooter, and he'd be an All-American.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well, thanks for calling in, Joe. Dalen is working on it. And, like a lot of things, you see incremental growth. One of the things that I'll point out about him as a shooter is he's shooting right now right below 90% from the free throw line on a lot of attempts. Part of why he scored in double figures here recently is when he gets fouled, and he's getting fouled more as he's more aggressive, he's going to the line and making two. So, it's always a good sign when somebody is a very good free throw shooter. He was solid last year from the line. He's really good from the free throw line right now. And I think that's a sign of things to come. He shoots threes religiously, daily. He has a routine. In practice, he's taking in competitive segments open threes. And, it's just a matter of him starting to do that even more in games. We want him to do that. I've talked to him about doing it. And clearly that becomes like the next step for his growth. But, I don't know if there's anybody that's improving more game in and game out, maybe in the country, than what Dalen is doing here from about Christmas towards here the beginning of February. It's been a lot of fun to watch. He deserves a ton of credit, and all of his hard work and talent are starting to show up in really big moments in every one of our big games.
Coach E, go ahead, Joe. You have another question?
The two new guys that come in,
Yep.
will be freshmen next year.
Yep.
Tell us something about those two guys.
Yep, so Nick, who's a combo guard from Gonzaga High School. If you follow Gonzaga High School, really good sports, both on the basketball and football side. Caleb Williams, the quarterback for the Chicago Bears, played at Gonzaga High School. The young man who hit the game-winning shot from Villanova in the national championship game.
Chris Jenkins.
Chris Jenkins went to Gonzaga. A lot of good players. Nate Britt, who played at North Carolina. And so a very, very well-coached high school player, very good student. Thing that I love about him is he's got a physical, strong body as an incoming freshman. He's not thin. I think he could play either guard spot with and without the ball. Defensively, I think he's more along the lines of really what we're building here, and that is these sturdy, tough-minded defenders who can guard a variety of players that fit our scheme and our style and fit the conference that we're in. So he's going to come to us battle-tested. You know, Jaden, like Nick, he plays at a prep school away from his home, but very competitive, more on a national schedule. And the thing that Jaden can really do is he can really shoot the three-point shot. He has the ability to shoot it off the catch, off the dribble, off of screens. Played this summer on the Nike circuit in the EYBL. And if you look it up on the EYBL, who is the best three-point shooter, the best three-point shooters, makes, percentage, etc., he'll be right up there near or even maybe at the top. So with him, I think that his development physically, his development, dribbling, passing, all those things are working behind his shot. But if you can really shoot the ball at the very elite level, you have a funny way of being able to contribute early, and I think that's a special skill to build from. The other thing about him is, you know, Nick's about 6'2", Jaden's about 6'4", maybe 6'5", so he's got good size as well. Both great kids from families and great schools, been well coached, played on the competitive circuit both in the summer and with their high school, and we're really excited about both of those guys.
All right, Joe, thanks for the phone call. We appreciate it. Coach, when you talk about Dalen Swain, he has the ability out from the top of the key and to dribble low to the floor, but he can fake right and go left, or go left and fake left and go right. For his size, to me, that's a unique talent. But once he gets you going backwards, he also has the ability to stop and spring up. I don't know how you would stop that. Well, he can shoot from 10 feet, 8 feet, 6 feet, whatever, basically whatever he desires at that point once he gets the defender backpedaling, which he seems to be doing more and more.
Yeah, the other thing he's doing well, Joe, is he really is passing the ball well.
Hit 4 assists against UConn.
You know, he's tall, and, you know, he can see over the defense, and sometimes, you know, you think something's open, but the size of the players doesn't allow. It's like the quarterback, right? Like the smaller quarterback, you think guys are open, they can't see over the line, and they just can't be as clearly and seeing the field, maybe because of their limited size. Dalen's like that, you know, he's that 6'8" guy that he can see over you. So, you know, we're constantly looking for ways to put the ball in his hands a little bit more every game, where he can both make the decision to pass or shoot and be a playmaker, and he's certainly ready for that.
Were you surprised he played, pardon me, Byron, in that ball game when he went down with the ankle sprain? The way the initial reaction, I thought maybe we lost him for a week or two. Of course, you don't know. And how tough was it for him to suit up for that game? I know we wanted to play. Was he 100%?
He wasn't 100%. I could have seen it either way. A lot of guys, a lot of kids, they would choose to sit out practice, sit out the game, and look at, for example, I'll be better and have a better chance individually to be more sure of myself against Creighton. You know, Dalen, he didn't want to sit out. He didn't miss anything. We sat him out in practice, but even today, you know, he was a full participant in practice. He's worked tirelessly with Connor Barnes, our trainer, and again, I think it says a lot about Dalen as a teammate, as a player, how much he cares about winning, to do what he did and go out there and play, and then play as well as he did.
This is the Sean Miller Coaches Show from Dilly Bistro, Marymount on 55, KRC, and the Varsity Network.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership just got even better. Now you can choose from Disney Plus with ads, Hulu with ads, or ESPN Plus on us when you sign up. Plus, enjoy unlimited free delivery, double fuel points, exclusive offers, and free items. Sign up for a Boost membership today. It's an easier way to save, including new streaming options to relax with while we deliver your groceries. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Get ready, Musketeer Nation, because light beer just got better. As the craft beer partner of Xavier Athletics, Sam Adams is here to elevate your game day experience. With the clean, crisp taste of American Light, you're not just grabbing any light beer, you're upgrading to the best in the game. It's smooth, easy drinking, and oh so refreshing. You'll be reaching for another one in no time. Plus, American Light is brewed right here in the USA, using all American-sourced ingredients. Sam Adams American Light Beer, because when life calls for a cold one, it's always Sam season.
Bourbon and barbecue sauce together as one at Buffalo Wild Wings? Bet I know how it happened. One night at a dimly lit B-Dubs, smooth bourbon bumped into tangy barbecue sauce. They chat, flirt, bat eyelashes. B-Dubs barbecue goes home with bourbon. Some hickory incense is lit. It's a full-on seduction when they just, hey, ho, sorry, you know what? Got carried away there. It's just this bourbon barbecue sauce is that good. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
Limited time only while supplies last. Please drink responsibly.
Xavier fans, this is Joe Sunderman, voice of the Xavier Musketeers. Just like our Musketeers, our friends at CTI Clinical Trial and Consulting are always looking for new talent to add to their team. They even have a program specifically designed for recent graduates. If you'd like to work with a group of people on life-changing therapies to help patients around the world, CTI is the team for you. To learn more, visit ctifacts.com.
Hey Xavier fans, after a hard-fought game, there's nothing like diving into Dilly's famous beer cheese, mouth-watering wings, or one of their signature burgers. Located in Marymount, Dilly is more than just a bistro and bar. For those looking for a hearty meal, their comfort food entrees are unbeatable in value and taste. And remember, if you want to catch up with all things Musketeers, reserve a table for the Coach Sean Miller radio show, hosted right here at Dilly. Dilly, bistro, bar, and bottle shop. Great food, great company, let's go X.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through February 3rd, get any new Highlander or Grand Highlander with 6.49 APR financing up to 72 months, including hybrid models with $1,681 per thousand borrowed, subject to approved credit through TFS. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Unlimited wash plans from Mike's Car Wash were made for our area's unpredictable winter weather. Grimy, dirty, salty conditions can do a number on your vehicle's finish and underbody. With unlimited wash plans, you can wash as often as you want at any of our 40 locations. And the more you wash, the more value you get out of your unlimited plan. Keep your ride protected from the worst of winter weather with an unlimited wash plan from Mike's Car Wash. Open daily at 7 a.m.
Welcome back to the Sean Miller Coaches Show. We're at Dilly Bistro in Marymount. And Bud Light, proud sponsor of Xavier Athletics. Easy to drink and easy to enjoy.
Sean, we talked about a number of players, and this was not my comment, but one of the somebody in the stands pulled me to the side and talked about Ryan Conwell and his development as a player relative to making good decisions. Now, you know, he's your second leading scorer on the year at 16 points a game. He's a great, prolific three-point shooter, but against UConn, it just wasn't his night. They did a great job against him, but instead of trying to shoot himself into it and maybe taking some ill-advised shots, he only took 6 shots. And for him to like show that growth and to do other things out there when the shot's not going, to be, you know, a good teammate, to continue to not tie his offensive shots to his defensive effort or his ability to share the ball is big. And I'm not saying that's I think he's always been that way, but I think it showed a lot of growth that he did that he was
For
aware.
sure. No doubt, Byron. And, you know, Ryan is continuing to become, you talked about our defense, you know, it's the players on the court that are improving, doing better, making it happen, and he's a big part of this as well. Defensively, he's in the right place. He's drawing tough assignments. He's switching. He's talking more. He knows where to be, how to do it. He's more physical. He's rebounding the ball better for a guard. All those things are things that are really helping our team be a better team. And, you know, when you can do that, even when your offense doesn't work, that says everything you need to know about how a guy is wired. And Ryan is the consummate teammate. He's a great competitor, cares a lot about his own performance, in a good way, puts a lot of time and effort into being a great offensive player and shooter. But you're right. You have to tip your hat sometimes to the defender or the defense or the scheme. I thought UConn did a really good job of trying to take him out of the game. And with that, they opened up some other things that we took advantage of. But he's done that, and he did a good job of being a really good defensive player and playing it all the way to the final buzzer against UConn. But the game against Villanova is also telling, too, where he didn't have a good half. He wasn't shooting the ball well. And you really think about what he did in the second half, and in particular near the end of that game, where you could put that behind you and then be the best player on the floor, scoring 28 points in one half, right? A lion's share of those 28 points in the final minutes, and doing it in a close one-possession game in which your team needed every point to win it. So, he's shown us those things. Like Davion McKnight, I would say the same thing about Ryan, in that he's the same every day. His demeanor doesn't change a whole lot, works at the game, cares about it, really wants to win, and he's certainly having an excellent season.
Coach, you had a situation in the ball game. There were 17 seconds on the shot clock. Your team was midway through an offensive set. I believe there were maybe 2.5 minutes left in the ball game. You were down to one timeout, and you elected to call that during at that moment. Right away you think, well, maybe the coach wants to save it for emergency later on, but I guess you felt that was critical at that point to call that timeout. Give us your thought process behind that and what you discussed at that point.
Yeah, just with how many close games we've been in, and especially coming off of the St. John's game, and anything that I think I could do to get the guys closer to the end is something that I was going to do going into our UConn game. Called a really early timeout, I think, in maybe the first half on a made field goal just to get our defense back on track. One time used the timeout just to get our guys rest. Just looking at him, it seemed like the game was fast, and maybe we just needed to be able to take a timeout, clear our minds, and go back out there. But at that particular timeout, look, here's the thing about these timeouts. You could save them, but sometimes that emergency you're saving them for never comes. And what instead comes is a come-from-behind situation that maybe you created by saving the timeout. So just trying to make sure we got a good shot, talking things out, making sure that we were clear in what we were doing. And I don't even remember what happened when we came back on the court, but that weighed into my decision to use them all versus saving that one. Sometimes it isn't as applicable as you might have thought it was going to be.
Coach, we talked about a lot of people. We haven't said anything about Zach Fremantle yet, who's every game he's played for you this year, he scored in double figures.
Yeah.
He's been consistent.
That's a heck of a statement.
One of the things that when I was playing, I wanted to be reliable. I wanted it to be consistent and knowing what the coach was going to get out of me every game. And it looks like he's consistent, and he's your leading rebounder, second leading scorer, but his consistency. I think his defense is better this year.
His defense is better. He concentrates. He's more alert. He's more hard playing. He's in the right position. He understands the value of being a good defensive player more now, later in his career than he ever would have as a younger player, which is typical as guys develop. But the one thing about Zach is, I watch him every day, and we have a number of guys who love the game on our team. I've talked about this as far back as the fall. Like, when guys love to be in the gym and work. Dante Maddox is like that. Ryan Conwell is like that. Zach Fremantle is like that. I mean, he loves to be in the gym, and he's constantly working on his shot and his game. And, before practice, after practice, sometimes we actually have to calm him down and say, no, you're not going to work out before practice today. We're gonna wait. We need you to be fresh. But he's due for a big night from three. He is. We want him to shoot threes. He's missed a couple open ones, and it can't become a source of frustration for him, because taking open threes for him makes our team better. And he's due. He is due for a big night, and it's going to come. Let's hope it comes on Wednesday. But I want him to shoot them. He's taking good open threes, and it's a matter of time before I believe his percentage is going to even out. And so that's the one thing that I think if you talk to him, he would say, I was just knocking down my three like I believe I'm capable of, I would really be playing well. You look at that, he had 15 points. He could have had 21 points on 2 shots. And I thought he had 3 or 4 great looks that didn't go down. But we're going to stick with him in that one area because I think, again, if we're playing to win and be the best team we can be, we're going to need him to take and make some open threes, and he's more than capable of doing it.
You're listening to the Sean Miller Coaches Show from Dilly Bistro in Marymount on 55 KRC and the Varsity Network.
At Mike Albert Rental, behind every adventure is a technician making sure your vehicle is safe for the road ahead. The custodian who deep cleans with your health and safety in mind. An associate who's ready to find the right vehicle for you. And behind it all, giving it their all, is our team at Mike Albert Rental. From sedans to box trucks, we have the vehicle you need at a great low rate. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Reserve your vehicle today at MikeAlbertRental.com.
Great care begins with a great plan. Cincinnati Cancer Advisors offers zero-cost second opinion oncology services that can give you a better understanding of your cancer diagnosis and instill confidence in your choice of treatment. Our team of experts are here to listen and help, working directly with your treating oncologist. Cancer doesn't wait, and neither should you. To schedule your appointment, please visit CincinnatiCancerAdvisors.org or call 513-731-CARE. That's 513-731-2273.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Hi, this is Jamie Smith, publisher of the Cincinnati Business Courier, inviting you to join thousands of local professionals who read the Courier to grow their business, their careers, and stay ahead of the competition. For over 30 years, the Business Courier has been the place where local businesses meet. Whether it's our in-depth weekly print product or our digital products or our live events, the Courier has you covered. Visit CincinnatiBusinessCourier.com or call 337-9450 to grow your business today.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Xavier fans. Looking for the latest Xavier Athletics news? Visit Cincinnati.com for breaking news, game day analysis, photo galleries, schedules, and more. Home or away, Cincinnati.com has the Xavier sports scene covered. Stay on top of the action at Cincinnati.com. Join us and let's cheer for our hometown Xavier Musketeers.
Can't carry a bowling ball in a plastic bag. Can't rub plastic bags together to make fire. Can't turn them into swim trunks. And you can't put plastic bags in your Rumpke recycling container. Visit Rumpke.com for recycling do's and don'ts. Learn more at Rumpke.com.
Make your recycling count. Rumpke.
Since 1936, Almer's Auto Care has been providing service beyond compare. With 8 family-owned and operated locations in Anderson, Milford, Montgomery, Deer Park, Loveland, Blue Ash, Florence, and Southgate, Almer's Auto Care is a name you can trust for all your automotive service needs. Providing service beyond compare is more than just a tagline, it's what they do. With complimentary shuttle service, free loaner vehicles, and an industry-leading 4-year, 50,000-mile warranty. Visit almersautocare.com to schedule an appointment today. Almer's Auto Care. Back to Dilly Bistro in Marymount and the Sean Miller Coaches Show.
Coach, another tough game on the road at Creighton on Wednesday night. What do you expect out of them?
You know, it always starts with Kalkbrenner, the big center, who does such an amazing job of anchoring their defense. And, you know, they foul the least amount of any team in the league. You know, he just blocks shots. He just camps in the lane and just makes the game different than virtually any other game you play. On offense, they take more three-point shots than every team in America except 9. So they're the 10th most three-point attempts per game in college basketball. They're number 1 in our league. So when you think about how many threes Villanova and Marquette and even UConn take, Creighton takes more. Almost 50% of their field goal attempts are from 3. 4 of their players, if you just look at their shot profile, they basically 80% of their shot attempts come from the three-point line. So being able to defend the three-point shot, how many they make, what percentage they make. You talk about our defense, Byron. We're also number 1 in the Big East right now in our three-point defense. It's a great stat to have on your side. We have to keep that. But our ability to defend the 3 and then on offense, really just attacking with intelligence their defensive scheme with Kalkbrenner, those are the 2 things. I will tell you, to win the game, we have to have a single-digit night in turnovers. They don't force turnovers. We're going to need to really take great care of the ball.
Thank you for joining us for the Sean Miller Show from Dilly Bistro in Marymount on 55 KRC and the Varsity Network.
Live from the Dilly Bistro in Marymount, this has been the Sean Miller Radio Show on the Xavier Sports Network from Learfield.